subscribe. Darling Radio. Watch and subscribe.
Yo, Keita, hop on in, Keita.
What's up, Tariq? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Keita. Where you from, Keita, with that accent?
I'm from Kenya. I'm an immigrant too. The ones you call them
An
how
immigrant.
do
You're
yeah,
not a tether because you're an immigrant, all right?
yeah. I just want to ask you, Tariq, what's the disconnect between because I've heard you use the term for a long time,
Foundational Black American, yes.
foundational Black Americans. What's the disconnect between Black foundational Black Americans and Africans? Because we have this thing whereby you guys are trying to even come to Africa and assimilate, but then you're having this like negative perspective towards Africans. They don't want you here. We don't want you. You guys have. I don't know what is this thing that we are so disconnected from one another. Yet we share a same lineage. I mean, we share same lineage. Tariq, I bet for sure, if we were to talk about Aboriginals, are you an Aboriginal?
Yeah, to the United States. I'm an Aboriginal to the United States.
Or do you have your whole family tree and everything to prove that you're Aboriginal of the United States?
Yes. We foundational Black Americans are native to the United States, meaning we were the people who are the foundation of the United States. Now, you in North America, you had red natives and different native tribes, and you even had Black Aboriginal tribes. But when it comes to the United States, the country of the United States, we foundational Black Americans are the native population to the United States. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it does make sense. But let me ask you, unlike you who call yourself the Aboriginals, here in Canada, we do have Aboriginals too.
Right. First Nation people. Yep.
The First Nation. Why don't you have the same agreements? Because these people did really fight for even though they are still fighting until today, they did fight for what they have. You guys are still asking for reparations. I mean, there's this thing about the American Black Foundational, yes?
Slow down.
Okay, okay.
Okay, let's slow down. Are you trying to compare us to some of them red natives, them First Nation people up there?
I'm not trying to compare you. There's no comparison. I'm asking, why is it that you guys never got what was supposed to be given to you, but instead today you have this victim mentality, and I think it's the one that's making you hate Africans.
What? But what kind of projection is that?
No, 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 no. I think it's the one that really is making you hate
Sir,
Africans. If you look at it.
what do you have to hate?
No, no, no. I mean, you even described the African artist whose mother came up and said you're African. I mean, when we talk about the cradle of man land,
What
is it not Africa?
hate?
Hate is the one when you speak from a place of victimhood. You are a victim, Tariq. You and those other foundational people,
Sir,
you are a victim.
you fled to Canada. You are
I did not flee to Canada.
sir, you are the ultimate victim. You are a refugee. You are a full victim. That's what a refugee is, a victim. You were victimized. You had to flee your homeland to go to a whole different place. There's nothing more victim than that, sir. You're not a victor. You had to flee. You were victimized in your homeland, sir. Don't project onto us, sir. Now, globally, we're all victims of white supremacy, but you can't point the finger telling us we're victims and you fleeing halfway around the world, sir. You are a refugee, which is the victim. You had to be taken in, sir. You take in victims. The Red Cross takes people in, sir. You understand what I'm saying? And that's okay. I'm not trying to denigrate you, but you're not at liberty to point your finger. We're all victims of white supremacy. Nobody has fought white supremacy more than us. You can't compare those First Nations up there because most of them are white people who paid money to get on the rolls up there. So yeah, that's why they get little set-asides and benefits because they've been infiltrated and their tribes have been gushed out and flooded with white people faking the funk. So yeah, they'll give them some, just like over here. You got a bunch of $5 Indians, some Europeans with feathers in their hair. And yeah, this is how they're getting resources because now you got a bunch of white people who done finesse the game. You understand?
Yeah, I get you, Tariq. Now let me ask you a
Go
question.
ahead.
Do you think black culture still controls the narrative, or are you just the face of someone else's agenda? Because I mean, we are seeing black culture only controls the narrative when you have the sales. I mean, we've seen, let me tell you, black people in America, which you call themselves foundational black Americans, you guys spend the most money on Gucci, Prada. But what is this thing about black people in America, the foundational ones, that they cannot seem to build their own thing? They act like victims so that they can come and say, "Oh, we don't like Africans." I mean, white people don't. When there was that war in Ukraine, whatever, you had them describing. They say these are white people, you know. They describe them as one. Europe describes itself as one. But when we come to the black people, especially the ones in America, you guys seem to single yourself out, and you seem to single yourself out because that victimhood mentality. I mean, no one is against you except the white people.
Wait. Do you say we can't build nothing? Foundational Black Americans, we can't build nothing?
I mean, you've tried to build something, but it's not amounting to anything.
Sir, you're from Kenya?
Yeah, you're white.
Sir,
Let me tell you,
sir,
the white man.
sir. Your homeland has the biggest slum in Africa, Kibera. Your homeland has the biggest slum in the whole continent, sir. Are we really going there about build? It's a shanty town with like 1 million people. You got 1 million people literally living in shanty towns. They're living in aluminum shelters, not even houses, sir. 1 million people in one big ass slum in your homeland. Kita, are we going there, sir?
No, but you didn't answer my question, Tariq. Do you still
That's the
think the
answer.
black culture?
Just flabbergasted somebody who comes from the biggest slum talking about what's being built?
I mean,
Really?
we've looked at the most leaders. It doesn't matter where you come from; it's where you're headed to.
Okay,
So, Tariq,
hold on.
do you think black culture?
Let me get Great Black Shark in here. Then I'm gonna get Dan. We'll
Okay.
take our time with you today, okay?
Okay.
Shark, this is gonna be interesting. Great Black Shark, hop in.
Salute to you, black man. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. How are you? We got the brother from Kenya. He's telling us, Great Black Shark, we haven't built shit. Go ahead.
Yes. Let me talk to Mr. Keita here. Is that correct, sir? That's how you pronounce your name, Keita?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to listen very carefully, and let me say this before I get started here. I need you to be quiet and listen, okay? First and foremost, my people, foundational Black American freedmen, built the United States of America. There was no America to come to until we built it. Regardless of how we built it, enslaved, that's a fact. Number two, when a lot of your people start telling my people about we have a victimhood mentality, first and foremost, let me tell you something. As a retired combat veteran, the first thing you have to do on a battlefield to win any victory is acknowledge the actual state of the battlefield. So yes, we know, as Brother Tariq said, that we are victims of white supremacy. However, we have also been victorious because we have a countless history of fighting back against systems of oppression here in this country, which is white supremacy, and we have not backed down regardless of being outnumbered. Furthermore, let me explain something to you about manhood, okay? If you're going to critique anybody, you need to have a track record of already doing what you're telling people or critiquing them on. When we are fighting for our reparations, that's not just money we're fighting for. You need to understand something. Our people value the very blood of our people that was spilled, all that free labor. We ain't letting that go. That's not happening. See, we don't see white supremacy as something to capitulate to. We're not afraid of these people. And I notice a lot of times your people, sir, y'all always concerned about what white people think, white people this, white people that. Let me tell you something, man. We do not look up to these people and idolize them. Some of your people over there, when they were colonized, they really did a number on y'all regarding religion, because some of y'all actually see them as guys. I've been to Africa several times, and like brother Tariq said, I've actually been to Kibera. I've seen it. That is sad. None of us have ever lived like that. Not during slavery, Jim Crow, definitely not today. There's no project that looks like that. It's heartbreaking. So I'm not trying to denigrate them. The thing we're trying to tell you is, before you worry about anything we're doing, you, sir, need to focus on getting your own people together and going back and building up your homeland. See, the people that we call tethers are the ones like Myron Gaines, Candace Owens. Now, if you're a black immigrant brother or sister, you come over here and you on code, we don't have a problem with you. But see, the way you're speaking now that could qualify as tether behavior if you keep on being disrespectful, because you are being disrespectful, okay? And I'm trying to let you know that the greater concern that y'all have for us, this is what I want to say to you on a man-to-man level. If y'all shift y'all focus to getting on code together and fixing your homelands, there will be places that you don't have to leave because you don't want to be there. Your homeland, your nation, which is why we don't run all over the place. That's your children's birthright. A lot of you leave and go to Canada, the UK, trying to get over here, and don't even get me started on the things that some of y'all do to get here. Where's the personal pride to say, damn it, I'm going to stand where I am and make my homeland something that I can pass down for generations? You have the Chinese over there neo-colonizing, practicing diplomacy. The Russians are doing it to a certain degree. The East Indians, everybody over there in the continent is living in a paradise except for the people who own the land. That's what y'all need to be focused on, sir. Brother Tariq, I'm going to leave it right there and salute to my good brother Daniel. I want you to listen when Brother Daniel speaks here, because this young brother has a lot of wisdom.
Man, great Black Shark. Thank you so much, brother. Let me let Keita respond, and then I'm gonna get Daniel and Keita.
No. I mean, Tariq, you didn't steal. I wish that brother would have been here to answer the question. Do you think that black culture today still controls the narrative? Or are you
Yes.
just the face of somebody else?
The answer to the question is yes, we still control the narrative.
You savage your own narrative?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Go ahead and explain how you savage your own narrative. Because, I
Okay.
mean...
I got you. I mean, again, this is see, this is the thing is, and I just said it to somebody the other day. When y'all so used to looking at shit through the eyes of y'all oppressor, y'all start to become a tool in your own oppression. And you try to push down on everybody else. Recently we had this huge rap beef in America. You probably heard about it. It was Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Drake has had huge commercial success, much, because of the execs are pulling the strings. I mean, they all kind of the same people. He just only uses his American lineage, air quotes, to say nigga and shit like that. He doesn't really care about the people. He recently went up against Kendrick Lamar, who is a champion of the people. And not only did he lose, he was destroyed. And he did what Kendrick Lamar told him to do. Go back to R&B. And he dropped the R&B album. And he stayed away from rap. He's not come back to the rap scene. And Kendrick Lamar said something really, really important on the Super Bowl. You can't fake influence. You can't fake that type of influence. You want to know why? Because when Kendrick Lamar said they not like us, he's talking about people like you and everybody else who are not like us. When it comes to this victim nonsense you spew, what you fail to realize is white supremacy has been victims of us for a very long time. And a lot of the things they do are in retaliation to the losses they suffered. And every time they lose, we chip more and more away from them. We started out in this country as less than citizens. Then we end up being 3/5 of citizens. Now we became whole citizens. Now we have legal set asides from the government that the Democrats are trying to give away to other groups. But that's another conversation for a different day. We have made it to a point in our history where not only are we're not fighting for freedom anymore. We're fighting for justice. You see? So we're at that point. Now we're fighting for repair. So now it's like, okay, we're getting our justice, but now we need what was owed to us from way back. That is not a victimhood. Literally, when you go to court and you sue somebody for a wrong they committed, if the jury and the legal system determines that person did it wrong, right, that person has to be paid out. That's called a plaintiff in this case. We have a valid complaint against our government, and our government has to do the right thing and pay us back. We're not going to let that go. Just because the person who died, just the person they actually did it to passed away, doesn't mean the lawsuit goes away because it goes to that person's estate. Now, I find it crazy that after all we've done for all the melanated immigrants around the world, you guys have the nerve to look at us and say we're victims. See, when South Africa was going through what they're going through, they got American support in the form of entertainers refusing to go over there and play for them. And F4 senators from their states to go talk to the president and say, hey, you're going to be on the wrong side of history if you don't condemn this. And they end up getting South African condemned by the United States. So we've done a lot for everybody. Up until, the United States was not taking in melanated immigrants. They weren't doing that. We pushed that. So you can say we have a victim mentality. No, we demand justice because we don't let people just do stuff to us and then forget about it and teach the next generation to bow their heads even lower, because that's what you people do. Then a lot of y'all come over here based off the efforts our people made and try to tell us how we should be doing something you haven't figured out yet. Maybe, just maybe, well, not maybe, we actually have the winning formula. We force them to retreat, rethink, and then every couple of years they roll out a whole new plan. And when they roll out this new plan, we solve it that much faster. So we understand what's going on more than anybody. And the reason why we is proof of that is because look at the progress we made for ourselves. And the progress we made for ourselves, your people should be copying like they do everything else. So when you say this victim stuff, add a thank you in there too.
Keita?
Oh, I mean, when I'm talking about the victim stuff, I did ask you, you don't control the narrative, Daniel. We can all agree. Black, I mean, I've listened, I've looked at your guys.
What
Your
narrative are you
guys
talking about?
submit the narrative of control. Because this is what is being, what you're crying about right now. It's the narrative of
Crying? What am I crying
control.
about?
No. I'm not. No. Don't look at the word crying, because I'm not talking about your
No,
crying.
I'm
You're
saying, but you
crying.
made us. Words have meaning, sir. We must use correct words. Now, you said I'm crying. We're
Okay.
discussing. Like, are you a man? Or are you like a kid?
No,
Like, what we
not a
doing here?
crying. When I use the
Okay.
word crying, I'm talking about what you're echoing is you are the victim in this thing. You see, white people, if you look at the white people in Europe, they don't consider themselves different as white people in and
They
this is
really do.
no, they're the same.
How?
I mean, Ukrainians are here in Canada and they have adapted so nicely.
No, that's because they're
Coming,
grateful. You know what it is? They're grateful because their
they're
fellow
not
white men.
grateful.
No, I'm telling you, they're grateful because their fellow white men. And by the way, just because you probably know this, Canada used to be under the crown. It's still technically a British Columbia um, thing, whatever. That's not the conversation. Um, the Ukrainians are grateful because their fellow white people allowed them to come over and live life. So they're assimilating because they don't have a hatred for them. And that's the difference between us and y'all. See, when we thought y'all was coming over here, we thought y'all would have the same attitude. But instead of doing that, y'all decided to team up with the same people who trying to go against us and choose their side. This is why the delineation conversation is so important, people. Because not only did y'all come over here and take their sides, y'all came over here and started getting into the way of our progress. I could say it all the time. I know people miss it, but Byron Donalds is a Jamaican immigrant. His mom's Jamaican, his dad Panamanian. He was talking about reparations. He said he would not support it because his mom wouldn't get it. There are countless other people from the Caribbean, from Africa, who say nonsense like that. Now, when they're just on the streets talking, they're idiots. Who cares? But when they have an actual vote in Congress, that means something, because that's a no where there could have been a yes. That puts us one step behind it. So we must separate ourselves from them. And when you talk about Europe, Europe has been at war since it started. As a matter of fact, do you just a real quick question? Do you consider the French and the British people the same people?
Oh, the French and the British people. I mean, they are both Europeans, so I consider the same. I mean, what they're both white people, so I consider the same.
Mm-hmm. You know they've
I
been to war
mean,
several times throughout the last century, right?
yeah.
Do you consider the Russians and the Germans the same?
No, I don't consider them the same. I mean, they might
Interesting.
they're the same, but they beef about culture.
Yeah. So you don't consider
The
them. So
German
you
culture
consider them
and
the same?
Russian. So I think actually, I think this is the root of the
Because
matter
because
now.
everybody you're saying, right? You do realize that between those three countries, between World War II and World War I, they killed almost a little over 100 million people.
But you
No, but I want you to understand the scope
yeah.
of that level of death that they've dealt to each other. Even now, even right now as we speak, right? France, Britain, and Germany are just trying to figure out if they want to put troops on the ground in Ukraine. Because what's going on is Russia has ramped up their attacks. So the support that Trump was giving them, he kind of pulled back a little bit, so they don't have as many drones. So now Putin sees this as an idea to keep attacking them. Long story short, Putin has been laying siege and slaughtering the Ukrainians. He could have probably been took it over. He's just doing it to show strength. He's been slaughtering the Ukrainians for a year, a little over a year now. And the rest of Europe is kind of sitting back and watching. And they want to get involved, but America said no. Now, if these people, right, are truly friends, why haven't they stopped Russia yet? They're not the same people. That's the answer to that question. You want to know why they don't consider themselves the same people? Because they have different cultures and they each kind of respect each other's culture. Britain and France are basically the same people. Uh, Britain's an island. It was populated from mainland Europe. They're all Scandinavian people at the end of the day. They go back far enough, which is what, 7, 8 centuries. That being said, they respect each other's culture to understand there's a difference. However, you guys will understand our culture is different. However, when you want to use our culture, then y'all come with that attitude that that lady's Burner boy's mom will ever say, "Oh, we were African." It's all we're together when you guys want to use our culture. But then as soon as go in a spelling bee or some shit like that, the first thing they want to tell everybody is where they really from. We just watched Carmelo Anthony kick and cry about not being on the USA team, claiming he's the face of USA basketball, and all of a sudden he's Puerto Rican. I'm like, what? Where did this come from? Like, I said, okay, congratulations, bro, congratulations. Now, when you take a look at it, he never played for Puerto Rico, not to my knowledge. So we see this all the time. People who use our culture under this shared blackness umbrella, and then as soon as they feel like they've made enough progress, they step away. And you said something earlier about us spending more money on these foreign brands and stuff like that. Well, we spend more money on everything compared to y'all because we got more money. We're the richest group of blacks in the world. That's a dumb stat to even talk about. We have more money. We spend more money on food than y'all, clothes, lights, and shelter. So, like all the things that you saying that makes us victims, it's like, no, we want justice. If somebody punch you in your face and you say, "Oh, he punched me in my face, I'm about to punch him back," you can say, "Oh, that's
You
a
said
victim mentality." Yeah, we've been victimized, but we don't have a victim mentality. So we have a justice mentality. You can't do stuff to us and take a step away, act like it never happened. No, we want our justice. That's the difference. See, victims and victim mentality, two very different things. Just because you're a victim, don't mean you have a victim mentality. We've never had that. We've never sat down and begged these people for our freedom. We always took what was ours. That's why the clash between MLK and Malcolm X was so big, because you had some people who viewed that as begging for freedom, other people think about taking it. And as soon as they did what they did to Malcolm, King was on that taking it nonsense. I mean, not taking it. He's on that taking it now. He's like, "Oh no, we not. We gonna go in and get our check." The attitude completely shifted. When it shifted, they killed him. So
you're saying
we've never been the people that sit back and take anything. So we don't have a victim mentality. We acknowledge wrongdoing and we demand justice for the wrongs that were done to us.
okay, are you saying that Africans cannot assimilate? Because that's what I'm hearing from you.
If that's all you took from this conversation, again,
No,
I
no,
can
no, no.
explain this to you.
That's not all I'm hearing from you. I'm
Okay,
saying
well, let me
that's
say it like
one of
this.
the
I
things
can
that
explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. See, when we talk about assimilation, we have people who came over, like Minister Farrakhan, for example. He's of Caribbean descent. However, he is not a tether. He's on code. He always speaks about what we need to do in this country to be better. And he's actually correct about most of the things he says. That being said, that is very different from a Byron Donalds who's saying he's going to vote against reparations because his mom won't get it. Wouldn't you agree? Those are two different people. And although as much as I love listening to Minister Farrakhan, he doesn't have a vote in Congress.
Kata?
no. The fact that the foundational, like you call them foundational Black Americans, they single themselves out.
Okay, but before we go
Do,
to that point, are you going to acknowledge the thing about Byron Donalds and Minister Farrakhan, the difference?
oh yeah. I can acknowledge that because I've seen it.
So you understand the reason why we have a problem with people who aren't from the lineage hindering the lineage when it comes to legislation, correct?
But I mean that word African
I'm
Americans
asking a
always
question though. Whoa, hold on,
yes.
one second, before we move on to that, because we can get to that in a
Okay,
second.
okay,
But
okay.
you do understand right? That we have a actual legitimate problem with people who aren't from the lineage talking about how they're going to stop legislation that benefits us for injustices done. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I do understand that.
Okay, cool. It makes sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense, but it
Okay,
doesn't
let's
stop
go
you
on to this
from
African
making.
American thing because I want to make sure you understand this because y'all will do this thing where y'all be wrong and y'all try to switch subjects really fast. All right, so what's
No,
the
no,
next
no.
point?
I won't do that. I won't do that. Does that make you from? Does that stop you from making progress? Even though this is an obstacle, does that stop you from making progress?
I
Because
want you to hear what you just said. If I'm trying to accomplish something and somebody
Mhm.
puts something in my way, does that make it difficult? Think about the question you're asking. Is that rhetorical?
it's rhetorical. I mean, it's not rhetorical because I mean, I asked you,
Seriously,
does that
like on
stop
a
you
human to
from
human level,
making progress?
if you're trying to get somewhere and I put a tree in the road, you got to get out your car and move the tree. Does that
I
make your
mean,
drive more difficult?
yes, it does,
Okay,
but doesn't
so
stop you from driving.
think about that answer and then ask that question again. Do it out loud.
That doesn't stop you from driving. I think you
But what does it make? But does it make it
uh
more difficult though?
it does. It does.
Do
I
you
accept it.
welcome difficult stuff?
Yes,
You
it's
welcome
part of
difficult stuff.
life. It's part of
Seriously?
life. It is what,
Seriously?
yes. Difficult
Oh,
stuff
okay.
is part of life. What do you mean, Daniel?
Okay, see. So
Do you expect everything to be
this is the
easy?
coping mechanism you guys do, right?
No, no,
So
no. But
you
I
guys
asked you,
have this
do you
thing where
accept
you
everything to
no,
be
I
easy?
understand that. This is psychology, right? So in order for you to justify and make sense of the world that you come from, you have to justify things being hard because such is life. Now, I understand life has come with trials and tribulations. That's cool. It happens. However, when we are on a road to repair, people putting shit in the way is very, very annoying. So much so that we have to call it out. So what you're seeing is us, hey, stop putting these trees in the road. That's not complaining. That's acknowledging this person becoming a problem. There's a difference. You understand that, right?
You say that's acknowledging this person becoming a problem?
Yes.
I mean, they've been a problem.
Okay. So you
You are
yourself.
acknowledging
So
them. You are
do
giving
you
them
wait? So do
power.
you pass that problem on to the next generation, or do you solve it for them?
No, I solve for them.
Okay. So we're solving it for the next generation. You
But
do understand every time you ask a question, right?
yeah.
You answering like you ask a question that makes no sense. I repeat the question back to you. You agree it makes no sense, and then you try to justify it not making sense. Like like get to your African American point because this thing was stupid.
Oh, there are other speakers on the panel. I think Tariq. We can circle because it's a conversation. I mean,
Yeah, cool.
I'm
All right.
still
Well,
being
I will land with this because, but
yeah.
just keep in mind though, when we talking about these conversations, these people have no intention on actually having a discussion. They just want to waste time
Right.
and be contrarian to what we're talking about. This idiot with a
You don't want to waste time. I
this idiot
asked
with a
you.
straight face just asked us, if you're on the way to something and something puts you in your way, is that a bad thing? What grown adult male makes that statement?
Right.
Like
He
anyway,
seems
but
nice.
I think what
no, but
you guys
appreciate it,
have
Flex, man. Y'all have a
is a
nice night.
complex. Daniel, don't run right now. Just
Run.
because
Run for what?
these people right here. What I've asked you is you're not owning up to the fact that you have accepted things the way they are. I don't
No,
think
what are you talking about?
you
We've been the
you
most group pushing back. What are you
you've not
talking?
accepted things the way they are. You've not
Okay,
accepted. You
listen. All
see,
right. Okay. You know what?
the,
You know
the
what? I'm gonna
first
do
step.
this.
Hold on,
I'm gonna do
Daniel.
this, and I'm gonna leave because this is annoying.
Just don't leave. Don't
I
leave,
got you. I got
Daniel.
you. I want you to pay attention to what just came out your mouth as a man.
Yeah.
We just told you we are on a mission, and they're putting things in our way, and we're stopping the people and acknowledging them for putting things in our way. And you said, "Well, life is supposed to be hard." No, no, it's not. No, it's not. That's why part of being a
No,
man
he's
is
right, but
part of being a man.
that's not being black. That's life is hard.
Radiant. Hold
Listen,
on.
listen.
Radiant.
1 second, young fella. I promise we'll get to you and your pit bull.
Okay.
The point is, anybody, right, with a brain knows problem solving. Problem solving starts at a very young age. You hungry, you cry, your parents bring you the bottle, you just solve the problem. As an adult, you get a math problem put in front of you, you solve it. As a functioning adult in the world, you have a lot of issues that pop up. Bills, children, things of that nature. When you got those problems under control, then you start focusing on cultural problems. You start focusing on making the world a better place for your children. Now, I don't know if you're a black man in America, what's the place you can make it safest for your children? affecting legislation, right? Doing some repair to what's been done. So we talk about reparations and things of that nature. And this whole thing is about injustice. It's not about begging for something. It's about justice. So we talking about our road to justice, and we've all agreed, all right, this is where we're going to go. And then you have somebody who's supposed to help us, by the way, putting trees in the road. If we acknowledge this person's putting trees in the road, that's not being upset about nothing. That's acknowledging a genuine problem. And how do you solve those problems? Well, let's delineate, because we're noticing these people who put in trees in the road aren't actually us. That in no way, shape, or form is a victim mentality. That's acknowledging, hey, this is a problem. Just say, for example, right, where you grew up at in Kenya, you guys had those tin roofs. Sometimes they rust. Do you A, put a bucket over there? Because that's what some people would do. Or B, do you put another tin roof? If you put another tin roof, you're solving a problem down the road. You put a bucket there, that's a temporary problem solver. We're looking at solving problems down the road so the next generation won't have to fight the same fight. I pulled up articles. I sent this to Tariq like a month ago. There are articles
So
from
why does a
1928 of them
problem
talking about this same exact
make
thing.
money? Where does money and a problem have
Hey,
one to do with each other?
real quick. Hey, look, wait your turn. Just say 1965. There's not a separate line here, brother. Thank you. Anyway, the point I'm making to Keita is this, right? There are articles from the 1920s of our ancestors telling us to not focus on African issues. They said it's better, and I quote, to focus on Pan American issues. So when we solve those problems, we can bring better tidings across the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we didn't listen. And now here we are, 100 years later, having the same conversation, yet further along in our progress. And imagine how far we would be if we weren't distracted by people like you cutting down the trees. Because we didn't let y'all in the gate, you couldn't cut down the trees in the first place. So all we're doing is we're closing the gate. And once we remove all these trees, right, then our road will be a lot smoother. We don't need idiots like you. Well, let me cut down a tree to make your road harder to toughen you up. That's ridiculous, bro. We've been through enough. We good. We got this. So with that, I'll land. I appreciate that, Tariq.
There you go. Thank you so much, Dan. All right, Keita. Thank you so much, Keita. All right. Any last words, Keita?
No. I'm still here, Tariq. I mean, the conversation is good. I always enjoy like nice spending because I'm still learning.
There you go.
So yeah, I'm still learning. I'm never say I'm full accomplished. So I'm still learning. So
All right.
yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, let me land your plane. All right, shit. All right, Gradient. You've been trying to get on. You've been talking. What's up, Gradient?
Hey, what's up, yo? I'm a little bit drunk right now, a little bit pissed off, but hey, I came in late and I understand the brother, he's saying some good shit and it makes sense. So, like he didn't want to hear, I just got to play like the devil's advocate here. So, let's just like be like logical about this whole thing, right? There's been races throughout humanity that have been how the do you monetize that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if reparations are made, all right, first, say like Trump, you get like Obama, whoever, you know, they're gone, but we get a great radical president for the US. We'll just start there, right? I'm just hypothesizing. So then if you wanted to do it, how the do you get the money? How do you disperse that in the first place?
Okay, it's reparations. Okay,
Five grand for every black person?
$5,000.
but, but there's a lot of black people. I mean,
Hey,
how
there was a
how
lot.
do you do it and maintain the economy?
Yeah, $5,000 my ass. It was yeah. Yeah, we talking about big money. We talking about
75?
we're talking about starting reparations off with like a $15 trillion package that's going to be dispersed specifically to foundational Black Americans, and it's going to be dispersed the same way they disperse money to Native American tribes, the red ones that they have treaties with. Is going to be done just like that.
Did they do that already?
They do it with Native Americans, with red Native Americans, so they haven't done it with us, and that's been the issue. So, yeah,
Yeah, because they killed so many of them. Like it's feasible.
yeah, it's people, yeah.
which is a sick thing to say, but it's reality.
That money off of our free labor, so it's feasible to give that money that they owe. That's feasible too, right?
What the fuck do I know? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Maybe.
you brought it up, so you know enough, right?
No, I don't know shit. I don't know
So
shit.
why'd you bring it up if you don't know nothing then?
I'm just talking. I gave a disclaimer.
God,
So how much money do you think is reasonable? This is like tit for tat. I have no. I'm not
what would you
judging.
be comfortable with giving Foundational Black America? What would you be comfortable? What dollar?
Me? It's not my money. I'll give you it all. $1 billion. $1 billion. It's,
Now,
here's the thing though. Hold on. All right. So now again, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm about to pound this whole drink right now. All right. So if you're Black America, how many Black Americans are there in the U.S. right now?
43 million plus. For Foundational Black Americans, 43 million plus.
Jeez. What is foundational? What does that mean?
That means the people who were, my lineage comes from the people who were here at the very beginning. I'm not an immigrant. That means the black,
Okay.
right, the black people who are not immigrants. That makes sense?
Like tax paying or something?
No, man, no. Like my family was here. We built the United States from scratch. That's the Foundational Black American.
Gotcha. Okay. 43 million.
Yeah. I'm okay. All right. Thank you. I just let his ass out of here. I'm not about to hear the drunk cracker babble. Torin. What's up, brother? Brother Torin.
Good morning, Tariq. How you doing today?
I'm good, brother. How you doing down there?
I'm good, man. Thanks for letting me up. Just happened to see the space and hopped in.
Oh yeah.
You know what, man? Really what we have to start doing as a people, and shout out to the brother Daniel who was speaking
Oh
earlier.
yeah.
A lot of times, man, these conversations are really for people who are serious about getting this work done, because there's always going to be people who either ridicule what Black Americans are doing or they waste time, like the brother said. And I think something that people don't really understand about this is the United States of America, and a lot of people who come to the United States of America, they're able to reap the benefits of this country because Black Americans are supposed to be a permanent underclass in this country.
Right.
As long as you can do better than a Negro, and I'm cleaning that up for your audience, then you're better than everybody else. And that's a mentality that a lot of people have. So now that you have a generation of Black Americans who are saying, hey, look, we built this country. We are entitled to the benefits of this country. We are entitled to full citizenship in this country. That scares the hell out of a lot of people, because a lot of people and a lot of ethnic groups are really invested in this idea that Black Americans are supposed to be the fetch and carry people. We're supposed to be the lowest rung on the totem pole when it comes to socioeconomic. And if you upset that, then you're upsetting a lot of political agendas, you're upsetting a lot of social agendas, and you're upsetting a lot of funding that goes to a lot of these organizations that are intent on keeping that going down.
Mm.
So I think that's what really people are scared of. They're couching it in a bunch of language, and they're couching it in a bunch of double talk and a lot of useless conversations to waste time. And I think it would be better for us if we just focus on what Black Americans are doing and let other people do what they're doing. They're going to say what they're going to say anyway. We need to stop explaining stuff to people. We got to stop trying to waste time with these people like that clown who just spoke.
Yeah.
And just focus on what we're doing and be real about that. That's all I wanted to say.
Man, real talk, brother.
Microphone check.